kids from St. Peter's Preschool. So you remember Pastor Rick? He was here and he would do these videos before. Well, Pastor Rick is gone and I'm the new Pastor Rick. My name is Pastor Becky. Can you say that? Pastor Becky, that's my name. And it's so good to meet you all and to be here with you. And Pastor Rick would sing a lot of songs, and sometimes I'm going to sing songs with you. But today I wanted to tell you a story from the Bible. Right now in the church, we're in the season of Lent. Can you say that with me? Lent. Lent is a wilderness time. And so I wanted to tell you a wilderness story. So there were these people in the Bible a long time ago, and they were called the Israelites. And the Israelites, they used to live in Egypt, and things were very bad. And so God was going to bring them to this place called the Promised Land, where things were very, very good. But in order to get from the bad place to the good place, they had to go through the wilderness. Do you know what a wilderness is? Sometimes a wilderness is like a desert, and it's dry, and it's hot, and it's uncomfortable. Sometimes the wilderness is like a forest full of trees, and you can't quite see where you're going. And in the wilderness, you don't have a map, and so it's kind of scary in the wilderness. You might hear sounds that are scary because you don't know what's making them. Or you might be really hot, or you might be really lost, or you might be really hungry. Well, that happened to these people, the Israelites. They were in the wilderness, and they started to get really hungry because their journey through the wilderness was on their feet. They didn't have cars, they didn't have tricycles or bikes, they just had to walk. So they're walking, and they're walking, and they're walking, and they're walking day after day, hundreds of people, and they're hungry. Well, they had a leader, and his name was Moses. Can you say Moses? Yes. So they had this leader named Moses, and they're grumbly and they're grumpy because they're hungry. Does that ever happen to you when you get hungry? You get kind of grumpy? Well, that's happening. So they say to Moses, Moses, we need something to eat out here. What have you done? Why did you bring us all this way out here just so we could be hungry? So Moses looks up to God and says, God, these people are hungry. We got to do something. And there's no grocery stores in the wilderness. There's no place to get food. And they've been walking a long time, so they were running out of food. So Moses says, God, what do you got for us? And God says, I am going to rain down bread from heaven. Can you imagine that? Bread coming out of the sky onto the ground that you can eat. It's called manna. And God told Moses it's going to come every morning. So when you wake up, there's going to be bread to eat. But here's the thing. You can only get enough for just one day. You have to trust that the next day, I'm going to give you more bread. And the next day after that. And that's what God did. And so in the morning, the Israelites got up, and there's all this bread all over the place. And they didn't have to be hungry anymore. And they ate the bread, and they stopped their grumbling. Thank goodness. So I wonder what you like about that story. I wonder what your favorite parts of that story are. I wonder if you have ever been in a place where you're really, really hungry and it makes you kind of crabby. And I wonder if anyone has ever given you what you need. Your mommy or your daddy or your teachers have given you something to make you feel better. So in this season of Lent in the church, we're talking about wilderness places. And we're talking about what God does for us when we're in wilderness places. And what God does for us is very, very good. Can you say that with me? God is very, very good. Say it again. God is very, very good. Let's say a prayer. God, when we are in wilderness places and our bellies are rumbling and we're getting crabby and hungry and grumpy, we ask that you would give us what we need. Amen. All right, thank you, boys and girls. Good to see you. I'll see you next time.